Eating is sensorial. More than that, it's about interpreting the information that your senses give you. Food is fun, tasty, and a fascination. Food preparation is an art. Yes, the art of cooking is dealt in culinary arts. There are many areas in which culinary artists show their expertise. Food science, nutrition, table manners, diet, food preparation, and presentation are a few. Culinary artists, please guess palate and eyes. Today, we have discussion on culinary delight and skills at Dr. Benny Palatty, veedum vidyalavaum, My Career, My Identity, as the 19th episode. Welcome to everyone. The culinary world is a fascinating place that has been influenced over the centuries by culture, religion, fashion, war, art, science, and more recently, globalization. Though we learn the basic lessons of cooking from our own home kitchens, there are well-established universities that are dealing with culinary art. Home science and food preparations were dealt with precision and scientific vigor. Anthropologist Richard Wraghan, in his famous book, Catching Fire, How Cooking Made Us Human, establishes his argument about human development in association with food habits. Alton Brown has said, the kitchen is a laboratory, and everything that happens there has to do with science. It's biology, chemistry, physics. Yes, there is history. Yes, there is artistry. Yes, to all of that. But what happened there, what actually happens to the food is all science. Words of Anthony Bourdain says like this: meals make the society. Hold the fabric together in lots of ways that are charming, interesting, and intoxicating. Human advancement always brought new cooking patterns and eating habits. We are familiar with urban foodie culture, restaurants, street vendors, cuisines, etc. Food has many things to share. Its association with a specific culture and geographic region, its history, customs and traditions, unique ingredients, etc. The art is charming and truly delicious. It's a profession where one has to prepare exciting dishes and design beautiful menu. John Athlame, who has been instrumental in organizing the study of culinary arts in Europe, has his wonderful quote, "Tell me what you eat, and I will tell you what you are." His classical work is titled as The Psychology of Taste. In order to develop oneself an expert into culinary arts, skills in the areas of chemistry, food preparation, taste, butchery, visual representation, food safety, nutrition, etc. are mandatory. Operational, technical, and managerial skills are necessary to progress in the culinary section of the hospitality industry. We have a young expert who are very much into the dreams and practices of culinary arts today with us. It is none other than Malavika from USA. She owns the skill for the mastery in this territory. Malavika considered to follow a career on her passion for food and cooking. She has been very much involved in food preparation and presentation. She is following her passion in this professional field and has great dreams about the entrepreneurial advancement. The Culinary Institute of America, the premier institute in hospitality management, provides a full menu of education choices. Malavika is dreaming and preparing herself at this great platform. Culinary Institute of America alumni are not only accomplished chefs, they are influential leaders in the food world. Congratulations, Malavika, and welcome to this session of My Career, My Identity.
Hello, good
Let
evening,
us
everyone.
gain inspiration. Let's gain inspiration to cook and to love food and flowers. Add creativity into it and make it simple. Let our senses be active to learn, discuss, and enjoy food. So, welcome to everyone. Now, over to you, Malavika.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction, Father. Thank you so much for having me here today and giving me an opportunity to show you guys a little glimpse of the culinary world. So, okay. So my name is Malvika Mary Korean, and I'm from Kottayam in Kerala. I was born and brought up in the United Arab Emirates. And Dubai, as we all know, is a place of much diversity of people and different cultures. Dubai has easily over 200 nationalities residing and living and working there. Now, because there are over 200 nationalities and different cultures, you really get to taste a lot of food because there's a wide variety of different and authentic food. And lucky for me, my friends and my family, they're all like big foodies. So everyone loves food, and we try out a place every weekend or anytime we get some time. For me, food was a very important aspect of my life. Um, it was and it still is. And I mean, yes, it is important for us. I mean, food nourishes us. It gives us the necessary nutrients to help us grow and repair, and and it's food for our brains and helps us think. But is that all? Is that all that food can do? I don't know about you guys, but food, it puts me in a better mood. It makes me happier. I mean, think about it. Have you ever been in an angry mood, or have you ever been sad after having like really good food? Like maybe a mother's stew or a bucket of KFC. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm always happy. Um, I think food comforts us. It soothes our soul. It puts a smile on our face. Food is special because I think most memories and most bonds are made over food. If you think about it, I think most love stories, it always starts with a cup of coffee or some chocolates. So yeah, food is life to me. Food means everything, and that is why I decided to make a career out of it. Somebody once said that if you do what you love the most, you wouldn't be working at all. Like you wouldn't work another day. That may be true, but I think when you do what you love, you spend not 1 minute not thinking. Like your mind's always on it. You keep thinking about ways to improve it or improve your methods or come up with new things. So yeah. And I personally don't like sitting for too long. I get restless very quickly. And I could never see myself doing a desk job. So that's when I realized, I love cooking, and cooking doesn't require me sitting at a desk, staring at the computer for hours. I can do what I love and make money out of it. So that was a plus point for me. And also when I started working in this field, I realized that cooking is probably the only job or the only art that requires you to use all your five senses. Like you have to use your eyes to see the food. I heard people say that you eat with your eyes first, or it's a treat for your eyes. So and that really makes a difference on, the taste as well. So yeah, so you see your food, you smell your food, and when you smell your food, your tummy gets ready to eat the food. And then touch or mouth feel, the way it feels in your mouth, and whether it's crispy or soft, like the texture of the food. And then sound, of course, and taste. I also chose this line of work because I would be happy to know that I made somebody else's day better with my food. Like, I think that's like the aim for me. Watching my grandmom and my aunt and my mother cook was truly an art. It was very inspiring for me. My grandmom was just so good at what she did, and she'd always whip up amazing, delicious treats and food for us in her kitchen. And as a child, I would look at her in awe. And all the burners on the stove would be lit up, and it would all have one pot or one pan on each burner, and my grandmother would multitask like crazy. No. Please don't get me wrong. Please don't think that, oh my God, poor grandma, she had to do everything on her own. That's not how it was. She preferred it that way. Like, my mother and her sisters would say, please let us help you. Please, you need to take it easy now. And she'd be like, she'd hesitate and she'd be like, okay, help me. And for the first 5 minutes, she won't say a word. And then after that, she just won't be able to help herself. She starts, she's like, she'll start correcting them. And then she'll be like, oh, you have to stir it in one direction. No. The dough has to be the same size. It has to be smaller. It has to be divided equally. No. And you must cut the vegetables exactly the same size. One by one, you'd see my mother and her sisters coming out of the kitchen with a frown on their face, and they'll be stomping their feet. And they just couldn't take my grandmother's perfectionism. So yeah, it was always very funny to see them getting angry and walking out. My grandmother has cooked for over 10 people with a spatula in one hand and me on her hip, because I was so interested in the way my grandmother would cook. So, she'd have me on her hip, and then she'd still be stirring things. And I've learned so much from her, and I'm still learning so much from her. And she always taught me things, and always helped me become better. And she always gives me feedback. And yeah, and of course, I have to mention one of my inspirations were my mom. She'd come back so tired from work. She had like a 9-to-5 job. And then after that, she'd come home, and she'd cook up such, like, dinner would be so good. And then I would ask her, don't you ever get tired? Like, you're working and then you come home and then you have to cook. And then my mom was like, no, cooking is de-stressing for me. It's a pleasure to do. And I could believe her, because every time I saw her cooking, it was like she had so much joy on her face. She thoroughly enjoyed it. So I think that was very inspiring for me. And I realized how much of a difference I could make, because she'd always make me smile with her food. And yeah, my family was so full of talented hands and good food. So, you see, I didn't choose the food life. The food life chose me. Yeah, okay, so now that I've realized that I had a passion for cooking, the next question was, could I make a living out of it? Could I make enough money for myself? And I was thinking out loud, and my dad goes like, why not? Why can't you? Everyone in India, like, my fear was that, everyone in India, they look up to doctors and engineers. And, if I go in this line, would I be deviating. But my father told me one thing. He said that you should do whatever you love, and as long as you love what you're doing and you're doing your best at whatever you're doing, and as long as you excel in it and you're happy, it's fine. Like, success will follow you. So with my parents supporting me, as usual, I had nothing to fear, and I started taking steps to my dream job, becoming a chef. My first step was to join a degree, BSc program, and I joined Amity University in Dubai, and I did my BSc in hospitality. And after completing my 4-year course, I was fixated on becoming a chef because my passion grew for it. We had a 6-month internship as a part of our course, and when I went there, I realized that I really love the kitchen. I love the long hours. I love standing on my feet. I love running, and getting things done. I love the adrenaline rush that you get when when you don't have much time and you just have to whip up something quickly. It felt great. And I would come home so tired, but so happy. And if they called me back into the kitchen again, I could do it. I loved it. I realized that I was just so happy. And so after my 4-year program, I went on to doing my master's in a very prestigious university or institute. It's called the Culinary Institute of America, or popularly known as CIA. Father Benny actually quoted Anthony Bourdain in the beginning of this, in the introduction. Anthony Bourdain is actually a graduate from CIA. You can find a lot of famous chefs who have graduated from the CIA. I was fortunate enough to actually study there, and it was amazing. Every day was you look forward to waking up every day at 5:30 and running to the kitchen and watching your instructor making new things, and then you get to do the same thing and you get to taste it, and it was amazing. So yeah. And I think for some good colleges for BHM in India, I think are the Institute of Hotel Management, I think popularly known as IHM, and they have a lot of branches in Delhi, Kolkata, Hyderabad, Bhopal, and then there's Manipal for their hotel management course, in Christ in Bangalore. These are some of the universities and colleges that my friends went to. So, and they had a good experience as well. Yeah. So would you, do you want me to tell you the kind of courses that you have to do in BHM or CIA or something? Or is everyone from the BHM field right now? Anyone? Someone?
I'm the faculty in hotel management. We have 2 students here.
Oh, okay.
Akshay Karthikeyan, ma'am. I am from also BHM.
Okay.
Also doing my BHM.
Okay.
Good evening, ma'am. This is Jogan.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So, which university? I forgot. Sorry.
Kerala University.
Kerala University.
Okay, that's cool. And what about Alina?
They are school students only. They are interested for something of this sort in their future.
Okay, and Dia is a student as well in school. Okay, cool. Okay, would you like to know some of the courses that you may have to go through? Or okay, so
sure.
So you have when you do a BSc in hotel management, or your bachelor's or whatever, I think you have to cover a lot of theory subjects and stuff, which is good for you because, just in case you don't like the, if you don't want to be a chef, you have many other options because they give you basis on the basics of accounts, HR, maths, economics, French. I opted for psychology, so I got a psychology as well. Life skills, entrepreneurship, so you can start your own things. That's always good. Business management, English, housekeeping, front office, food science, nutrition, environmental studies, operations, as in, computer programs for front office. And then, of course, you have your internship. You have event management, interpersonal skills, food safety, food and beverages, and your practicals. I always love practicals the best because I could cook. Okay, just a minute. Okay. So, okay. One thing I've noticed is in every job, or at least when I speak to my friends, all of them say, oh yeah, we always look at the clock and, we always wait for it to become 5 o'clock so we can go home or we can go out and eat food and, or have fun or whatever, right? And what I've noticed is whenever I have worked, I keep looking at the time or the watch or whatever, and I keep hoping for an extra 1 minute or 2 minutes so I can finish my work. Like I can finish my sauce or my risotto or something. Because I think being a chef, that's one job where you just keep wishing for more time. And things get really intense. But the best part is you don't have to carry any work home. During Corona and stuff, a lot of people work from home, and that's one thing I didn't have to do, work from home. I can't. And yeah, so you have a lot of fun at work, and then you can come home and completely relax, unlike other jobs. If you have a true passion for food and a little creative flair, a career in the culinary arts is the right one for you. Hospitality, travel, and tourism sectors are among the fastest growing industries in the world. While some other areas are suffering due to the economic downturn, the food industry continues to flourish, offering you a constant stream of reliable job opportunities. When you pursue a career in the culinary arts, you will never struggle to find employment. Instead, you'll be spoiled for choice when it comes to finding a job that matches your interests and your lifestyle. If you've actually noticed, no matter what it is, the food industry or the hospitality industry is like it's always open, except maybe during Corona. Other than Corona, there's always people need food 3 times a day, so there's always job opportunities like waiting for you there. The most interesting part for me about this whole thing is no 2 days are the same. We chefs have to always be on our toes because our food, it has to be the best, not just one day, it has to be the best every day. It has to be consistent. We have to always be on the lookout for new trends, and every day is a new opportunity to experiment and to be creative and innovate new dishes and styles of cooking. Business opportunities related to the field that we're talking about today, I think you can open up your own bakery or catering business or food truck Food truck is really good in America and in Dubai and stuff. Spice production. I actually have one of my friends. He and his sisters, they gather spices from a forest, and they dry it and then they sell it. It's called exotic spices, and I think it's doing pretty well now. So yeah. And then you can do online cooking classes. You can be a personal chef. A personal chef is basically where you charge a pretty high amount, and then you tell the person. And a lot of celebrities have personal chefs, so that's a really good job opportunity. You can own your own restaurant. You can be a menu or food or nutrition consultant. You can be a food stylist. You can be a food photographer. You can be a nutritionist. You can have your own coffee shop. Honestly, sky's the limit. You can do a lot of things in this field. For me personally, I want to work under really good chefs for some time, and then I want to start my own culinary boutique, like a nice restaurant that serves really good food, really top-notch food. So I think I'll be doing that after a few years. Some of my friends have bakeries right now. Some of them are working in Michelin star restaurants. Some of them are working under Michelin star chefs. I think I have one food photographer friend and one food stylist friend, one nutritionist. So you can really go any way you want. New trends in cooking or the culinary industry would be, I'm not going to get into the scientific part of it or like the technical part of it, where you like the machinery or whatever used, because it's a little boring. But the trends, I think before Corona started, one of the main trends were charcoal ice cream. So it was basically black ice cream. It tasted really good, but yeah, it was black ice cream. Then there were different color buns. There were red buns for burgers. There were red buns, green buns, blue buns. That was a trend. There right now, smoking and curing or preserving is becoming a new trend. It's you basically smoke a piece of meat or eggplant or something with I've done applewood, and it tastes really good. You know how they smoke butter chicken with some charcoal? It really changes the flavor. It makes the flavor, it's just really good. And then of course, everyone is talking about molecular gastronomy right now. I think I wouldn't do justice if I explain it, so I'm gonna share a video if that's okay. Okay, let me just, can I share a video, Father?
Yes, I will activate, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you can try.
Okay. In our campus, we have a few restaurants in our campus, which it's a part of our syllabus to work in the restaurant. And in those restaurants, in one of the restaurants, they have molecular gastronomy. So you can learn all that there. You learn how to make fresh ravioli. Everything is fresh, and you learn a lot about food safety, which is very important. You learn a lot about how to use the equipment, like the sous vide or the food vacuum, the different types of knives, the how to go about when you're cooking, how to go about you have to clean as you go. You cannot leave anything messy, because if you do, you will get an F and you will fail the class. But other than that, they teach you how to be very hygienic about things, maintain the food safety rules, and yeah. Would anyone like to ask me something that any sort of questions, anything?
Okay, Elena, Divya, and all me. You can ask your questions. Everyone, you can prepare and ask your questions.
I have a doubt.
Yes.
Can I ask?
Hi. Yeah.
Food is what I eat. It is prepared at my kitchen. What is the scientific and artistic in food science?
Okay. The scientific part of it. Well, okay, I'm so sorry I muted the video before that actually answered your question. Okay, so food goes through a lot of chemical and physical changes. Have you ever noticed when you cook a piece of beef or chicken or whatever, when you first start cooking it, or spinach, you have the whole leaf, okay, but by the time you're done cooking it, it shrinks. That's because, you know, the water inside the chicken or the spinach or the meat, it evaporates and shrinks. So, you know, chefs, we put salt at the very end of the whole process of cooking, because otherwise the meat becomes a little tough, because salt takes away the moisture, the water from the food quickly. So we always put salt at the very end so it doesn't become tough. I don't know if that answers your chemical aspect of it. Art, the way you present food, the way you, that makes a huge difference, you know, because if you just present everything in a plate, it's not appealing, it's not appetizing. When you present it in an artistic way, in a nice way, people feel like eating. Cooking is definitely an art. So yeah, and the science part of it also, I think I can say that it takes 5 senses to understand the food that you're eating. 5 senses. So I think that's a little scientific too. So yeah. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, sure. Divya, yeah, okay, then you can ask.
Yeah, what is the business prospect of culinary arts?
Maybe some technical troubles may be there.
Okay. So the business prospect of it would be, you know, you could start a bakery, you could start a catering business, or a food truck. Food truck, I think it's pretty good. Like I think the startup cost and everything is comparatively better, because if you start a restaurant on your own or something, it'll take a minimum of 2 years to break even. And it is a lot of work. No matter what it is a lot of work. So yeah, food truck or spice production. You could start your own cooking classes on Zoom call, live or Zoom call for now because of Corona. And you can actually make a lot of money out of it. You could tell them, you know, it's from this time to this time, and they could pay online, or you could provide them, like you could mail them all their, one of my friends are doing that actually. She gives them all the produce and they have to just pay a certain amount, and then she teaches them how to cook it as well. So that, or you could own a restaurant. That's honestly what I want to do. You could be a menu of food or nutritionist. Nutrition consultant. So menu consulting. I worked at a Turkish restaurant. It was fine dining. It was called Ruya, And we'd have a food consultant or a menu consultant come in sometimes, and she would tell us, the new things according to different seasons. They can tell you what new item or what new food to introduce into the menu. So Ruya was a Turkish restaurant, and she would tell us that, okay, fine, from during winters, they would have a lot of meat items with really nice smoked eggplant, and we would and when you get a little stuck, sometimes it's a little difficult coming up with vegan options or gluten-free options, and they would really help out. They would help with coming up with new items, making it tasty, and at the same time we do justice to the Turkish cuisine. So that's basically what menu and food or nutrition consultants do, and that's a very high-paying job. And you don't have to spend half the day on your legs. So yeah, a food stylist, that's you really need to be creative for that. And it's basically, you need on a plate, the plate is flat, okay, and you need different dimensions on it. You can't have everything flat because that's not appealing. I know you don't think about this in depth and stuff when you actually just eat, but it makes a huge difference when you start thinking about it from this perspective. It has to have different levels and different colors. It makes everything more attractive. Food photographer, they have amazing ways of they understand food, and they have really good ways of taking pictures, and that's really good job as well. A nutritionist, so I did a program in nutrition in my bachelor's and for my master's. So you can really help people with gluten problems, or people who don't prefer having meat, or somebody who has a lack of a certain vitamin in their body. You could really help them. Or if somebody wants to gain weight or lose weight, that's a really good high-paying job. You can start up a coffee shop, that's pretty nice too. And you can be a teacher or a professor, and that's pretty rewarding too. So those are some of the job opportunities. So yeah. Oh, and so chefs in a restaurant, they have many levels. Like the lowest level, not the lowest level on the brigade is commis, and the highest is an executive chef. Now the executive chef, he doesn't really spend a lot of, he is in the kitchen, but he speaks more than he works with his hands. He decides on the menu. He being an executive chef is it's a hard job, but it pays very well. Next in line is the sous chef. The sous chef basically does a lot. It runs around a lot. Is right under the executive chef and reports to the executive chef. And yeah, you have many chefs underneath that. And when you go into being a chef, you need to understand one thing, and I learned that kind of the hard way. You need to understand that it's a team. It's teamwork. It's not a one-man show. You need people to help you. You need people to back you up. You can't do everything on your own. And MISE-EN-PLACE, that's the name of our little talk today. I decided to name it MISE-EN-PLACE because MISE-EN-PLACE is a very popular word that's used all the time. It's always thrown around in the kitchen, and that means preparation for what you're about to make or do. And that's a very important thing in the kitchen industry. You need to always be on your toes, always think on your feet. And you need to always be prepared for whatever's coming. And yeah. Hmm. Any other question?
Good afternoon. I
Hi,
don't
good
know
afternoon.
what time is it in where you are. So I just need to ask, what all does a person has to go through, the stages he has to go through in order to get into CIA?
Okay, that's a
Did you
good
get my
question. That's actually a very good question. I was a little clueless when it came to this because I didn't have anyone to help. But so you have 3 essays that you have to write about, and the topics will be food is life. Why do you think food is life to you? And there's something about leadership, and there's something else I don't remember. So you have to write 3 essays. US is all about writing essays. They just love words. And you have to make a small portfolio for yourself, things that you've made and places you've worked in, or if you have any background, prior experience, whatever. And you'll have to give in your 10th grade, 12th grade, and your BSc or your degrees certificates. Then you pray and hope that they call you. Yeah.
Okay. About your school age habits, you already spoke about your grandma family experiences. That is wonderful. But also the school age habits, hobbies, also the subjects which you like the most, which were useful for developing qualities and improving the skills for this culinary artistic area.
Yes, Father. So school age habits. Okay. I used to love getting in the kitchen with every chance I got. I remember once I wanted to help my mother make caramel or chocolate or chocolate and caramel, and when my mother said you have to finish a certain paragraph in your homework, and I said okay, fine, I'll do that. And I was doing that, and the bell rang. As soon as the bell rang, my mother went, and I sprinted into the kitchen. And my mother promised me that she'll only make chocolate after I come there. I mean, after I'm done with my passage and when I help her. Then I saw there was really good chocolatey goodness in a saucepan, and I dipped my finger into it and I started screaming because it was hot caramel. So what I'm trying to say is I would run into the kitchen with every opportunity that I got. And it was always so nice experimenting and stuff. And my brother and I, we would always we would cook noodles and we would experiment, and most of the times it would go wrong because we were kids, but that had a lot to do with coming here, because and of course TV programs like Chopped or competitive programs, cooking programs, because it shows that you always have to be on your feet. You always have to, you cannot remain still in the kitchen. And that's something I've noticed that even chefs don't like. They don't like you just, even if you don't have anything to do, you have to do something, because otherwise they get angry. And I like that because I can't stay still for too long. What else? I used to always like serving people, like, giving them food, or, making my food and then giving it to them. So, and I was always happy to see that they liked it. So that was a huge motivation for me. Other than that, just eating different types of food. And it was incredible how each cuisine was so different. And even though we sometimes use the same things, like in America, I think the closest that I could find to Indian was Mexican. Mexican food is a little similar to Indian food. Yeah, I think that's it.
Elena can.
Sorry, Father?
No, she will be Helena.
Ma'am,
I will
I
ask
need to
another
ask.
question. Yeah.
Okay.
What is the latest developments and progresses in this field?
Okay, so the latest, do you mean trends or do you mean like the latest trends? Or of
Latest.
food? Yeah. So
Yeah.
that would be one of the latest trends, I think, is the whole concept of a food truck. It's on the move, and it's supposed to be lesser prices, affordable prices, and that's a food trend. Then different colored things, like there's black pasta, which is actually squid ink, has a lovely taste. There's different colored buns for burgers. I spoke about black ice cream, and honestly, the thing that's most fascinating right now is molecular gastronomy. And I'm so sorry that the audio wasn't there, but I will send you the link. So molecular gastronomy deals with a little bit of science as well, and bringing art to your food. So it has very interesting things like, do you know what caviar is? Caviar is basically fish eggs from a particular kind of fish. It's actually from a sturgeon. It's fish eggs, and it's really expensive. Now, molecular gastronomy has taught us to make apple caviar. So molecular gastronomy is it's always coming up with new developments in the culinary world. So yeah, and edible flowers and stuff.
May I ask you something?
Yes, sir.
What is your
Yeah, Divya.
what is your expertise in cuisine? Which cuisine you are an expert?
Okay, so in my course, I have touched every cuisine. I've done Asian, I've done Mediterranean, I've done Italian. I think I said Asian, Indian. I think I lean a little bit towards French and Italian. French because they have a different way of cooking. It's really nice, the methods and stuff. And just the things they use in it, it's really nice. And Italian as well. I think those would be the two that I like, and Italian would be something that I am leaning towards right now. But I lack a little knowledge when it comes to Indian, which is really sad because I am from India, but I'm trying so hard to learn from my mother and grandmother right now. And I think that's the tastiest food in the world, honestly, Indian, because we use so much of different types of spices, and it's beautiful. Yeah. So.
Can I ask a
Thank you.
question?
Yes, yeah, sure.
What is the uniqueness and value of our Indian and Kerala food?
Okay, that's a good question. The uniqueness is, okay, you think about American food, I don't know, what comes to your head when you think about American food or Mexican food or Italian food? What comes to your mind when you think about Italian food?
Pizza and pasta.
Yes, pizza, pasta. For me, when I think about Indian food, like every food has like something like, okay, Italian food, you have pizza, pasta, then what? Okay, but Indian food, it's just such a wide variety of things. Like you come to the north, you have parathas and butter chicken, chicken tikka. Go to the south, Kerala, everything has coconut in it. Fish moli, erchi alteda, everything, thawed in, everything has coconut in it, and such a good taste, such a good flavor. Yeah, and everything. When you go to America, I think the thing that they use the most is salt or something to make it a little sour. They don't use the kind of things that we use. Like, we use a lot of mirchi powder, chili powder, or turmeric and coriander. That's not there. They just use a lot of salt, a little bit of, I mean, every cuisine is special, but I think India would have to be the best. So, yeah. Uniqueness is that every state is different. No, it's not like other countries. Every state has its own special thing. Yeah.
I have another question. What are the college hours that you have? College hours?
Oh, my college hours, my first year was very hectic. I had theory classes in the morning that started at 8 o'clock, and my practical class would be from, I think, 2 o'clock to 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. So that was a little hectic. First year was very hectic. If you but so those are some days. I think those are 3 out of 5 days, and 2 days we have a slight break. We don't have a practicals. We only have morning class. That's theory, and that was good. But we always have a lot of homework, a lot of reading, and a lot of group projects to do. I think that's to teach us how to work in a group so we can do better in the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a fast food culture. We usually say fast food culture. I mean, what I mean, similar type, what all foodie cultures are there, and which is healthy, hygienic and all?
I don't think fast food is a bad thing. But it depends on what kind of fast food you're going for. If you're going for junk food, then it's bad. I mean, everything in moderation is okay, but fast food can also mean a salad, like Subway. Subway is a fast food place. It just gives you your food quickly. Just a minute, just a minute. I'm so sorry. Okay, so yeah, so Subway, it's a fast food place, but it is not unhealthy. You have salad bowls, you have a good sandwich, which I think you have your veggies, you have some sort of protein, you have some sort of fat, that's cheese or whatever, and your sauces. And I think that's a perfectly balanced meal. So I don't think fast food is always bad. Junk food, on the other hand, is definitely always bad, but having it sometimes is totally fine. Fast food is just basically meant for people who are always on the move. They don't have time at home to cook. But personally, I would think that making your food at home mostly would be better, because you know what goes into it. You know the ingredients that go into it. You know how much oil goes into it. And it's definitely therapeutic to cook at home. It's definitely better. Fast food is also easy food in case you're in a rush to go somewhere, but always try and opt for a healthier option. It is mass produced, and you get it quickly, and yeah, I think that's all I know about fast food.
Yeah. Now, Suresh sir, do you have any further questions?
I would like to ask, if I'm not wrong, you studied 4-year course first in Dubai, then
Yes.
you moved to CIA, right?
Yes, sir.
So what kind of different teaching methods that from in Dubai and America? Was there any difference?
Okay, so in Dubai, so all the faculty members were, most of the faculty members were Indian, and it was easier for me in the beginning. I wasn't shy to ask them my questions, and I could just relate more with them. They would give us examples that were easier to relate to because the culture is almost the same and stuff. They would use smart boards to explain their things. There would be a lot of presentations, and we would get more field trips, probably because we were doing our bachelor's. We had visits to different hotels, and but the thing is, when you're doing your bachelor's, you have so many different courses, like so many different other departments of the hotel. So I liked just the culinary part of it, and so I liked CIA a little more because it was only focused on the culinary aspect. Initially, some things were a little difficult for me to relate to and understand because the measures, the method of measurement that's used in the US is not the same as India or the rest of the world. America is special. They use ounces and pounds, and that was a little difficult for me to adjust to because suddenly leaving grams, it was really difficult to understand the measure, and fluid ounces and everything. That was a little difficult, but other than that, it was okay. They didn't have smart boards there. They would just explain whatever. But if anybody had a doubt, they would explain further. They would explain properly. And if somebody had a problem with their knife skills, or somebody was a little slow, they would take a lot of effort, and they would call that child after class. They won't, not in front of everyone, after class privately, and they would tell them, if you need help, just meet me or meet a tutor from this time to this time in the library, and they can help you improve your knife skills, etc. There was proper attention that was given so that our knife skills were better, and it was compulsory for us to do practice knife skills every hour. 1 hour every day, and also our piping skills for pastry.
And one more question: do you recommend any other university other than CIA? Because not every student can enter CIA, right?
That's true. For me, I personally think more than the university or more than the school that you go to, you're going to learn a lot from your work experience. Sure, you will get a lot of understanding and the basics from your school and universities, but you learn a lot on the job. And other than CIA, I would recommend Le Cordon Bleu, and that's supposed to be a really good university too. Other than that, I think there are a lot of universities and schools, like IHM, I think I said that before. There are a lot of places offering these 6 months courses and 3 months courses. And I can send you a link or type that down for you because I don't have it here right now.
No problem.
But yeah, it's. I think Taj has a program actually. They all have these little boot camps and stuff. So yeah. 3 weeks.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yes.
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So, ma'am, actually, I just wanted to ask, like, from my past, I have a little bit of experience.
Okay.
So, in field, but I was in a service line.
Okay.
So I used to see daily. I used to be very close to kitchen. So I used to see their like mentally, like they are so much stressed, and there's scolding, there is noise, there is literally like mentally you're getting abused. It's kind of like that. So it's that much pressure you're handling. So like, how do you really manage that pressure, and how can you really work in that team with such people around you?
That's actually a really good question. That's a nice practical question. Initially, it was a little difficult for me. I've cried, but it's just so much fun. You get an adrenaline rush, and I'm sorry, it just you need to realize that it's not permanent. It's only the heat of the moment. It's not something. It's not personal. They're not talking to you or abusing you personally. It's just the moment, and then after that, everyone knows it's just the heat of the moment, and it's just a joke. But you need to make sure that you get your work done. You need to make sure that your mise-en-place is ready, so there is no pressure. But I think service time was something that I always looked forward to, because you had to keep running around, and it was like a race. And I think that's something that drives me to the chef's field. I've always liked it. So yeah. But you just have to be sure not to carry over your stress back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ma'am, just one last question. So when we used to work, so they used to say that the growth in the production field it's very hard. It takes time to improve, to get yourself to the next level. Till that time, you have to also compete against your friends and colleagues around you. While in other like front office, or you're working in service, you don't have that much struggles.
Yeah.
So like you, by your improvement, by your work growth, managers totally jump you up, because they need such experienced staff. But in a kitchen, I've seen people struggling for 7 to 8 years, but still they're at commie 3s and commie 2s, and they're still struggling to get up. And like, how do they like really like take this for this much years and still like how do they manage that growth and all?
Okay, so I think you have to be passionate about it. Sometimes it's really difficult. Like I remember for an entire month, I would peel onions, I would peel garlic, and I would pick out leaves. And I didn't like it, but then I knew that I had to do this to get, to the next level. And sometimes it's difficult, but you just kind of have to be persistent and believe and do it. It is difficult. It is really difficult to like actually compete with your peers because, friends and stuff. But just remember, you just have to do the best you can do and leave the rest to God. So yeah, it's all about persistence, and you need to have a proper map in your head. You need to know, okay, after this, I have to do this. After this, I have to do this. If you don't have a proper mapping thing in your head, you will mess up that quick. It's very easy to mess up.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. So always be prepared.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
No, thank you.
Ma'am, can I ask one question?
Sure, yeah.
How did you know that you have a liking towards French and Italian? And what all things should one keep in mind when you specialize in a type of cuisine?
Okay. I realized that I like French because their cooking methods were different. It was different from what I saw at home. It was different from, it had more to do with braising and a lot of soups and stocks, which was a little new to me as in comparison to what I see at home. So I leaned a little bit towards French, and then I started Italian, and that's when I realized just a lot of things like truffle, truffle mushrooms. I'm in love with those things, and the type of, it was just so amazing to me because the flavors you get when you mix a few things, and it was very different from Indian or Arabic flavors, and that's how I decided I liked it. And Italian, I don't know. Everyone likes Italian. So I thought, and everyone liked my food when it came to Italian food. So that got me to keep working on my Italian skill. Because I feel, for me personally, I got a little bored with other cuisines because maybe it's because I just kept giving my attention to French and Italian. So I'm a little more keen towards that. And I just adore the method of cooking. So yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for answering that.
Do you like a particular kind of cuisine to cook, or
So
Yeah,
you want to be
I
a
like
we
chef?
are
to.
just getting into the final.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I like to specialize in
Yeah.
Indian.
Any more questions?
Okay.
Any final advice for the students who are going to get into hotel management, especially on the language?
Language. My only advice, honestly, is to give it your all, to give it your best, because that's what matters. And in the end of the day, you have to be happy. And yeah, just be persistent. And it's always good to know a few languages in the hotel industry because it's easier to communicate and you can get easily employed in different places. That's something I've also learned. So I think French, English, and stuff will get you to a lot of places. I'm still learning French. But yeah, always have a smile on your face, always be persistent, always know that it's going to get better. Never lose your passion, never lose it. Always remember why you got into it the first place. And yeah, just be happy. Yeah. I think that's all. Would anyone like to say something?
Yeah. Just I am
Yes, Father.
concluding the okay. Just a word of. Just wait. Okay, here there is a little trouble with the internet, so I'm just switching to the another one, and I'm just here. I'm just here.
So, where is everyone from?
Yeah. I mean, basically all are from. I mean, the basic, like you, everyone is from Kerala.
Okay.
And this academy, as they are from Naipunya, Chertala.
Okay.
There is an institute which has a few colleges at Ankamali, also at Chertala, and they have. And the students are basically from here only, I mean, from Delhi only. They are also interested to have a similar future. They also wish to have some similar future.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
So, okay, I hope no one else has any questions. So I am just giving a little, I mean, a word of auto thanks. So we have truly today we had so-called a visual treat. I mean, Malavika was giving us a treat. And as in the beginning you were telling, after food, good food, we have smile on our face and great memories. Same, that is true to this session because we had very special memories from this interaction. And we are all just, okay, we have good institutes in India, but still we are just limited to certain practices and very few cuisines. But Malavika has given us a wide range opening to one of the premier institute in this field. Also varied cuisines and food habits, and that was great. And the objective of this particular session, it is to connect our youngsters to their best suitable area. And this My Career, My Identity series, it has already conducted 18, and now it is 19th episode on various fields. People from across Canada, Singapore, USA, Australia, various. I mean, basically our own youngsters and people who have been to wonderful areas have been invited, and they are all very happy, like you, to share their experiences and expertise to the youngsters, to lead them to the wonderful arena of professional life. And here, the way you have connected, which you have told, it is not food that chose you. No, it is not you chose the food, but food chose you. I mean, that is called the passion for each profession. It is not just about food. For every profession, one has to be passionate and creative. Never bored, because as you are told, if you love the profession, then you are not working. You are just living. You are just passionately experiencing that field. And that five senses actively, five senses are engaged in making food and living in that field. And last time, Sunday, we had a pilot sharing her experiences. She was also speaking the same thing. She has been into the cockpit 14 years, and she is telling till now, I mean, every day she is new to the cockpit and she is passionate. And 14 years, she also had her studies from Canada, the flying practice from Canada, and she is now in India, pilot, and she was telling every day she is new to the cockpit. That is the passion she shares after 14 years. So this is the way to choose, because I believe in my studies also I understood that God has given every one of us, so-called in biblical words, talents, talentugal. So if we identify those talents, it is sure that is the area of our passion. And there we can excel and we can live. And the work satisfaction that we are gaining is wonderful. So this is what you were also experiencing. And even the students who are into the hotel hospitality, they were also understanding your passion and so actively engaging life. So congratulations. Also, thanks for sparing your valuable almost 1.5 hours. I know you should be busy, because many people think the studies in abroad are easy, but it's truly hectic, because you work hard, practicing, interacting with the experts, field experts, and all. So, but you found time to be with us. So thanks a lot, and you shared the passion. That is what. Also, the Culinary Institute of America, all the details, their classrooms, their pedagogy, their interactions, and the method of teaching, everything you detailed for us. So wonderful. Thanks to you, Malavika. All the best wishes. We also expect you have a great entrepreneur in you. Let's all enjoy your so-called fruits of entrepreneurship. And we had also one another program, one coffee taster who is an expert in this field. Maybe 5 or 6 weeks back, we had a coffee taster. When you were telling about wine tasting, so coffee tasting also is in the similar platform. So he is able to identify 40 to 50 cups of coffees instantly. I mean, at once in their breaks, he is able to taste and say. And he's also an expert like you, thoroughly. And you, okay. Anyway, so thanks to everyone. Also, we have today faculty and students from Naipunya, Thanks for them for being here and interacting with the expert. Thanks to everyone, and also Divya and my own Elena. They are all curious to know what is these big worlds, and introducing them. Okay, this is the practical world. This is the kitchen. This is the nature of work there. And so they are also happy to listen to these whole things. So thanks to everyone, and especially
Thank you
to
so much, Madam.
so all the prayers and thanks to. Okay.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Yeah. So bye.
Bye.
Yeah. The end.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.